Hi everyone, I wanted to do a very basic palmistry video for you guys and show you the 4 major lines that we read from. Every palm is different, and so it's kind of hard to judge where we're looking for each individual hand, but I can show you the 4 major lines, and then hopefully we'll get into some videos showing a little more in the way of specifics. So I'm going to show you on my recessive hand here. The lifeline usually starts here between the index finger and the thumb, comes down this way, and will end somewhere between the middle of the palm, and mine actually extends all the way down like this, and there's some forks at the end, some fraying. Now the lifeline does not necessarily say how long you're going to live, but it's general well-being. It's the general health of the person. Sometimes you will find what we call an island, which will be like a big gap in between, and those are big life changes. It might be a break. There might actually be a freckle or something like that along the lifeline, and those are going to be times when things are making big changes in their life. I usually judge this top 30% into adolescence, then you got adulthood, and into your senior life down at the bottom. Okay, we'll move on to the next line that I always go to is going to be the headline. And this is the way of our cognitive thinking, whether we think fully with our heart, fully with our head, and which way we like to go there. Now mine actually starts back here with my lifeline. It stretches all the way across. If you struggle to see exactly how it bends and breaks, you can kind of flex the hand a little bit and it will show you the natural lines this way. And having a fork at the end, I always relate that to being a balanced person. You see both sides of the coin, you try and think logically. Usually one way always wins, and I can tell you right now, my heart always wins over my head, because this is our heart line here. But it just kind of gives you an example, and that's how we really read palms, is intuitively. If we had the larger break connecting down this way, then obviously you think more with your head. If it's connecting with your headline, then you definitely think more with your heart. Your heart always wins the argument. And we'll go to that line next. That's the one that most people seem to be concerned with. I actually don't read it as how we deal with romantic relationships. I don't always connect it with partners, but it's how we deal with our emotions, how we deal with other people, how passionate we are about our relationships, the people, the things we get involved with. And you'll see again, I have lots of fraying, which means I'm all over the place, which is fine. It connects with my headline, so my heart is always going to win, or I'm sorry, my heart is always going to win the argument. It doesn't necessarily denote with relationships. Those are actually different lines, the way that I read, the way that I learned to read. But it does show a strong heart. We have lots of duality here with, trying to do what's best not only for myself, but for others, being able to still care for people after relationships end, try not to be too bitter, and all of those things. Ending right here at the index finger and the middle finger, that's usually something that's very passionate, not only in relationships, but like friendships, friends and family. Like we give our 110%, as they like to say. And then the last one is the fate line. And not everybody has a fate line. They're very common, but not everyone is as easy to see. The fate line starts down at the wrist. Let's see if I can get it here. Down at the wrist. And it comes straight up. Now you have to follow the line. Some people it will stop here. Some people it will go all the way up, like mine does. And this is somebody that is pretty much destined since birth to follow their life path. No matter where they go in life, this kind of shows like If that person is really following what their natural gifts are, you know, some people, they grow up, they know from the very beginning that they want to be a nurse, and so they grow up to be a nurse. Sometimes they don't, and so life always seems to struggle and bring them back to a caretaker position, kind of forcing you back into that role. And usually when they're straight, fully across the palm, there's no escaping what lies ahead of you. It's somebody that's very fated in life, and how they are perceived throughout going forward. You're always getting pulled back. And those are our 4 basic lines. Another common thing, and unfortunately I only have my 4 markers, but I think it's important to note, another common thing that they like to show in palmistry is having an M in the middle of the palm, and they always connect that to money. A lot of palmistry readers will try and tell you you're going to be rich and famous, and it's just a whole bunch of nonsense. But the lucky M is a real thing to be read, and it's somebody, again, it kind of notes that fate. And here you'll notice between my lifeline, my headline, my fate line, and my heart line, it makes a letter M. And it could be money. I'd like to be, you know, financially stable and well off for many generations to come, but that's not always the message. It's a matter of having your life in order, seeing the beauty in life even through the struggles. It's somebody that is very fortunate and very gifted, having a fairly easy life as far as things go, having tons of fortune as far as you might have lost your job, but another one's always right behind, not having to struggle too hard. It's not always, you know, just in the way of becoming rich and famous, but it does denote some sort of luck and fate in your life when your heart, your head, and your lifeline and fate line all come together to create this shape. It is something that is quite fortunate for that person. So those are our major lines, and a little extra note here to take, since I am fortunate to have it on both hands. I wanted to show it for you and exactly what that means. I hope to do some more videos in the future. I will need some volunteers for hands to show extra marks and things like that. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff to help me out. And you guys have a beautiful day.